What's up guys, today I'm going to go through this creative B-roll edit and show you some of the tips and techniques that I use to smooth out the transitions. So let's get right into the editing. Here I have the first transition, and this is a really simple one using the model's clothing to block the lens and create like a fade to black transition. So I've cut these clips at the important point, and then what I'm going to do is just put these right next to each other to create the transition. But there's one more thing that I like to do, and that's to add a cross dissolve transition. And a cross dissolve transition will smooth out a lot of these in-camera transitions by just blending the two shots together. To do that, what I'm going to do is select the inside of one of my video clips and just press Command T, and that's going to insert a default transition, which should be a cross dissolve transition. But if it's not, then you can just find this cross dissolve transition in the transition tab over here and then drag that onto your video clip. So if I cut this down and then make sure it's in the right place, so it just smooths out the different shades of kind of black and gray between the transition, makes it a bit smoother. So let's go to the next one. For this next transition, I pan down to the floor on the first shot, and then on the second shot, I started from the ground and then panned up because I wanted to link them two together so it'd look kind of seamless. But on the first shot I was panning way too fast, and then on the second shot I was panning way too slowly, so they don't really match. So what I'm going to have to do is firstly to retime the video clips, so add a speed ramp and slow or speed them up to match the speed of both video clips. And then I'm going to add a cross dissolve transition, and that should make all the difference. So first of all, I'm going to go to where I want the video clip to start slowing down, and then hold Shift and press B, and that's going to create a speed ramp. And then the second portion of the clip, I can just use this slider to drag it out, and you can see it says slow 64%. And because I filmed it in 60 frames per second, I can slow it down to 40% and it will still be smooth. Now I'm actually going to speed up this second video clip. I'm going to add my speed ramp, speed this up. So now that I've matched the speed, another effect that I need to add to this second video clip is a bit of motion blur to match the motion blur on the first clip. So I'm actually just going to use the directional blur effect that comes with Final Cut Pro. I'm just going to drag that on and then keyframe that so that it turns off before the shot pans up. Okay, so the last step, I'm just going to add a cross dissolve transition. So Command T. Cool, that's looking nice and smooth now. So now moving on to this. And for this one, what I want to do is use this tree here that wipes across the screen to transition this video clip. The first thing that I need to do is actually put this video clip above the previous video clip. I'm going to go over to my effects tab over here and then go to masks, and I could use the draw mask if I wanted to be really detailed, but for this one, because the tree it matches well with the previous shot and it's quite straight, it doesn't really change shape. What I'm going to do is just add a graduated mask. And this graduated mask effect is actually quite useful when creating transitions because it gives you these targets which you can use to attach and track on a position of the object you're masking. So I'm going to place it on the tree somewhere here, and then I'm going to go to the keyframes, press the keyframes on here, and then just go through frame by frame, tracking this target to the place on the tree that I had it on. So that's looking pretty good, and that was really easy to do using the graduated mask, and it helps that the two shots really matched up. So for this next one, we have the bike tire wiping across the screen to transition two video clips. So to edit this, what I'm going to do is go to the center point where the tire is in the middle of the screen. I'm going to press M on my keyboard, and that's going to add a little marker. And these are really useful. I use them quite a lot when editing, just to line up shots and make a note of where you want to edit. So on the second video clip, we have the same camera movement wiping across the back tire of the bike. I'm going to go to the middle of the shot, and then I'm going to add another marker, pressing M on my keyboard. And then I'm just going to overlap the two video clips and just line up the markers. And if you have snapping on, then the two markers will just snap together. So for this transition, what I could do is just trim the video clip and have a hard cut into the second shot. And it looks okay, but you can make it way more seamless just using a mask. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to extend my video clip back. I'm going to go over to my effects tab. I'm just going to use the graduated mask again, and I want to mask out the right hand side. So I'm just going to use this target and keep it attached to the tire as the tire wipes across the screen. But first I need to click the keyframes. So I'm going to click the keyframes on target and center, and then just go through frame by frame, moving this target so that it sticks with the bike tire. So now we have this way more seamless transition between the two shots, and I really like how that one turned out. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.